Dating is hard. Swiping is exhausting. And let's be honest, some people just can't seem to figure it out.
That's why we're proud to announce the Human Integrated Neural Guidance Experiment, Project Hinge.
Participants are carefully selected when traditional methods are insufficient.
Candidates receive cutting-edge implants to eliminate poor choices, wasted dates, and mismatched partners.
Because sometimes the algorithm knows you better than you do.
If selected, you'll join a study that could change the future of relationships forever.
Now recruiting test subjects. Apply today.
Candidate C file located. Initiating behavioral analysis.
Cody's always had such a big heart. We admired that. But he hadn't been very lucky in love. And after a while, he just gave up and focused on the mountains. We worried nobody could keep up with his schedule.
Schedule saturation, 118%. Subject conditioning, ongoing since birth. Learned behavior, active. Compatibility probability, less than 12%.
Candidate C displayed atypical behavioral patterns. Primary fixation, extreme outdoor pursuits. Secondary fixation, repeating those pursuits endlessly.
Obsession index, 94%. Status, solo expedition. Prior attempts, failed.
I was always concerned that you might end up just being married to your snowboard split board the rest of your life.
Early imprinting, positive. Object substitution substantial.
Despite repeated exposures to traditional dating, outcomes remained unsuccessful. Candidate C cycled through partners, but none achieved sustained compatibility thresholds.
Trial number 14, terminated. Team cohesion, verified. Stability index, low.
Look, Cody wasn't bad at dating. He just dated mountains. And mountains, they don't text back. He can manage ECMOs and ventilators. But texting back? Utter failure.
Candidate C was flagged as a low likelihood of long-term connection and bonding. He entered Project Hinge for recalibration.
Candidate C, admitted.
Candidate V presented with the opposite anomaly. Where candidate C lacked focus beyond the mountains, candidate V possessed a hyperselective filter. Rejection rate, 99.9%.
Candidate V, baseline scan. Filter intensity, high. Performance metrics, above average. Cooperation level, conditional.
She never compromised, not once. Honestly, most people couldn't keep up. The experiment needed its toughest test, and Veronica was that test.
Multiple applicants were screened. Few advanced beyond initial evaluation. Most eliminated on site.
Peer review panel, strict. Attachment style, avoidant.
Her standards, always sky high. I mean, even as a kid, she'd reject dolls that didn't look just right. It wasn't about finding a boyfriend. It was about surviving Veronica. I mean, people say Veronica's picky. I guess personally, I just think she's a bitch.
Candidate V, high risk, high reward. Entered Project Hinge for calibration.
Trial number 5, rejected. Trial number 16, incompatible. Candidate V, admitted.
With both subjects accepted into Project Hinge, Phase 2 could begin. The prototype chips were installed and activation commenced.
Installation is a delicate process requiring steady hands, advanced tools, and, ideally, some idea of human anatomy. First, identify the neural access port, typically located somewhere above the ear. Give or take a few inches. Apply gentle pressure until the subject stops screaming. Next, insert the microchip. The chip will immediately suppress poor romantic choices and enhance emotional regulation. If mild twitching occurs, that's normal. If sparks appear, proceed to Phase 3.
What began as a calibration quickly became a stress test.
Phase 2 began with circadian calibration. Candidate V, early to rise, compliant with a natural light cycle. Candidate C, nocturnal and entirely misaligned.
Sleep cycle, irregular. Circadian compliance, high.
She wakes up at dawn, ready for the day. Cody's idea of dawn is the start of his climb. They tried watching movies together. She saw the opening credits. He saw the ending credits.
Dietary compatibility tests yield some extreme divergence. Candidate V, natural, plant-based, holistic. Candidate C, high-frequency sugar intake. Nutritional compatibility remained low.
Candidate V's pathways revealed dormant adrenaline circuits. Early exposures to rock climbing and snowboarding were logged, but they required amplification.
Adrenaline pathways, reactivating.
Running calibration presented an unexpected imbalance. Candidate C displayed hyper-efficient locomotor output, first documented in childhood. By adolescence, performance exceeded standard parameters. During collegiate testing, Candidate C achieved near-inhuman speed metrics.
Velocity index, exceptional. Endurance output, maxed.
Veronica is no speed merchant. If you ever saw her run, it looks like she's wearing cement shoes, slogging through a pool of oil. I mean, how do you play basketball for 10 years and never score a fast break layup? I mean, honestly, it was embarrassing.
The algorithm attempted multiple recalibrations. Running tolerance increased by 2%, then 5%. Maximum calibration was achieved at 10%. Despite maximum amplification, the running aversion remained. This proved to be the first major system flaw.
Candidate C's combat pathways were dormant. Childhood karate files logged, but then abandoned.
Martial pathways, dormant.
Candidate V, however, retained active combat circuits. Boxing, wrestling, competitive aggression remained online.
Combat readiness, sustained.
She is a fighter. She wrestled everyone. Wrestled me, wrestled her brothers, wrestled her friends. Eventually, we realized we had created a monster, and this is just not some phase she's going to grow out of. We realized she's going to need a man who can take a hit.
Well, most people get champagne for their 30th, but Veronica got greased up like a hog and wrestled her friends in mashed potatoes.
To prevent collapse, the algorithm was forced to amplify Candidate C's fighter circuits.
Combat circuit, reactivated and amplified.
At last, the algorithm detected a near-perfect match. Phase 3, neural synchronization initiated.
Profiles active. Candidate C, on brand. Candidate V, also on brand but slightly concerning.
For the first time, both candidates showed measurable alignment.
Bonding index, rising.
When they matched, we figured it was fate, or a software bug.
We figured give it 6 months or until Cody leaves her for just another mountain.
But the trial, it It didn't collapse, it stabilized. By the end of phase 3, the candidates, they became official.
Status change confirmed.
Calibration continued. Results exceeded projections.
Terrain and emotion metrics harmonized. Aquatic trial passed. Risk tolerance high. Adventure threshold sustained. Snowfield mobility dual mode efficiency achieved. Summit synchronization achieved. Balance index inline and optimized. Belay trust index 100%. Hydrodynamic coordination achieved. Endurance compatibility optimal. Team dynamics efficient. Base camp bonding verified. Emotional spectrum saturation peak reached. Navigation compatibility tolerable. Hydration protocol engaged. Submersion synchronization depth tolerance confirmed. Atmospheric affection index elevated.
The data suggests stability. Synchronization achieved against all odds. It seems functional. Chip or no chip, they're disgustingly happy.
Everything seemed to click, maybe too well.
But abnormalities emerged.
Candidate V demonstrated voluntary running behavior, classification, anomaly. Relaxation index, uncharacteristic.
Cody? On a beach? Sitting still? What the heck's wrong with him?
Data suggests both subjects began freelancing outside their parameters. Candidate C even found new hobbies to obsess over and stopped counting elevation gain. System confused.
Other trials were also failing. Containment could not be ensured. Project Hinge was recalled. All chips were deactivated remotely.
Couple of recalls to tell you about tonight. The first one involves certain packs of chips.
Situation when two manufacturing defects that are quite rare happen in the same cell that causes the potential for a fire.
Meaning the problem is baked in.
Chips sold under the label value time have been recalled.
Obviously, they need to replace every chip that dies.
We prioritize their safety.
Intel has pushed things too far.
System terminated.
Following deactivation, most candidates reverted to baseline. Candidate C and Candidate V did not.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
Against all odds, it seemed functional.
Surprisingly, they stayed together, which means the love is real.
Or a chip was planted permanently in their brain.
They said it was science. I say it's Stockholm Syndrome with better lighting.
Honestly, I think they're still chipped. Nobody can smile that much setting up a tent.
When the system went offline, we all thought, well, that's it. It was fun while it lasted.
Project Hinge may have been experimental, but I think it worked.
Status remains inconclusive. From this stage, we could no longer distinguish algorithm from authenticity.
Project Hinge. Status. Success.
No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together. The dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.